We are just about 1 month away from AEW's biggest pay-per-view of the year, August 25th, Wembley Stadium. So far, around 50,000 tickets sold, all in to AEW's biggest pay-per-view of the year. And even though I'm more of a traditional professional wrestling fan in the sense that the World's Heavyweight Championship needs to be the one main eventing the show. It needs to close out the show. In this case, it would be current World Champion Swerve Strickland against the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament winner Bryan Danielson. And again, if All In manages to close with that show, I'll be completely fine with that. Especially since there is a high possibility that we have Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, finally becoming AEW World Champion. There is a case to be made for the Women's World Championship match to end the show, to main event All In. Because AEW has been criticized and hated on, by me as well, I will admit that, about its lack of storytelling, about its lack of long-term storytelling. But every once in a while, they get stories like these, where Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm, the most entertaining women's world champion of all time in AEW history, now has to defend her championship against her former protege, the women that stabbed her in the back just 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Left her a bloody mess on a live Dynamite after winning the women's tournament of the Owen Hart Cup, and thus earning her shot at the Women's World Championship. Again, this partnership has been running for what? A year? At least? Almost a year? And again, it's not like, if you're a pro wrestling fan for any amount of time, frankly, if you're a TV fan, movie fan, you know for a fact that if 9 times out of 10, you have a protege and a mentor, eventually tensions are going to rise and the protege will turn. And in pro wrestling, it's no different. We've seen it countless times in the past. So again, it's not like we did not see this coming. But the execution of that bloody beatdown, the betrayal, just even timeless Toni Storm's facial expressions during that savage beating from Mariah May made this that much bigger. You want to talk about blood being effectively used in pro wrestling? Look no further than this instance. Because in this instance, in that segment where Mariah May beats the bloody hell out of Timeless Storm, that's when it mattered. That's made it significant. That made it important. That made us care about this feud, about this rivalry. It's not just another Jon Moxley blade job in any random match. Now, like I said, there is a case for this to be the main event. I would not be surprised if it is the main event. I would not be upset about it because, again, these two women have put in the work. And the fans, at least on social media, care about this. Now, Toni Storm, or in this case Mariah May, impersonating timeless Toni Storm last week on Dynamite had a mild reaction. Not the reaction that I was looking for, not the reaction that AEW was looking for. Because again, AEW has this pseudo fan base. They don't really cater too much to the mainstream. So most of their fans are IWC members. Most of their fans are hardcore wrestling fans, which means that they could cheer for the babyface, but they also think that the heel is pretty cool, so they'll cheer for the heel too, which, to be honest, just messes up the dynamic of good guy versus bad guy on TV. Again, which is the dynamic that you sell to the mainstream audience. a dynamic that works very well for WWE, that's worked very well for other companies in the past. But this rivalry between Mariah May and Toni Storm brings parallels, just a little bit, to last year's main event of All In between Adam Cole and MJF. And only in this case, we didn't wait for the big turn. We got it like that. And it made us care that much more. Again, everything so far in this rivalry, brand new rivalry that flourished from their partnership, from their friendship. Everything that AEW has done with these two women has worked. They haven't missed a beat. Not even last week when Mariah May came out to Toni Storm's music. That works. And again, Toni Storm didn't interrupt, as she shouldn't have, because she got the living crap beat out of her. Now tonight, Mariah May, I believe, has a talk show either in the ring or backstage. A debut of a talk show. I wouldn't be surprised if Toni Storm makes a return. But let's see what kind of reaction they go with. Because again, they could go either way, and depending on the execution, once we get to see it, but thinking about it, there really is no wrong way to do this. You can have Toni Storm interrupt her and just be extremely mad about what happened a couple of weeks ago, and they can go straight at it, fight it off. Or you can go more of a theatrical route, which I think, if I had to bet, would be the way to go, in which timeless Toni Storm just starts creating vignettes, backstage segments of how she was betrayed by her beloved and all of that. And again, we leave it to the professionals. They have better ideas, they have better execution. But again, this feud, this rivalry, Toni Storm, Mariah May, Women's World Championship, Wembley, All In, has all the ingredients, has all the factors to possibly main event All In on August 25th. And I don't think any pro wrestling fan out there would think twice about it. So with that said, what do you think about the Women's World Championship match at All In? Do you think it has enough to main event the actual show? Do you think that maybe it could, but the world title between Swerve and the American Dragon should still be the actual main event of the show? I don't know. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. With that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.